Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Ratchet Deadlocked Part 21. We're going back to our homeworld. We're finally going to take on the last challenge in the game, the last level in the game, and then it's the final boss. We're finally going to end Seaman Vox's evil plot to ultimately enslave the galaxy for his own entertainment. It will all be for the greater good. That's what Ratchet and Clank have always done since the very beginning of this game, to get to dish justice against the people that crave entertainment or that crave corporate greed. We're going to be dishing out never serving justice, and it turns out, we find out Al isn't really dead. We thought he was dead earlier, but he's not. He's a cyborg now. Cyborg Al. Yeah, the saga of Al continues as a cyborg. Remember that time I mentioned in a Discord DM group that people with autism supposedly have more metal in their blood than non-autistic people? And some kid said, does that mean I legally qualify as a cyborg? I'm like, well, no. A lot of people have metal in their blood. Just autistic people supposedly have more of it. But that information came from WatchMojo.com, and how accredited is that? You know, if WatchMojo says something, it's always going to be right, right? I mean, Ron Burgundy never lies about anything, so why would WatchMojo ever lie about something? And then I remember there was this kid that used to go to a social group I used to be part of a long time ago. He was supposedly autistic, and he would just sit and stare at things all the time and never answer questions. And I'm finally buying the greatest weapon in the game. It's finally mine. And I'll be testing it out in a few moments. Yeah, so this kid, he just stares at stuff a lot of time. He randomly bangs his head, randomly turns on the oven, and he touches a ceiling fan. And he also he's also kind of a jerk too. He kind of likes to pick on people and things. And then I sometimes say about him ignoring people. I often say, well, I think it's an Eastern European thing, because he is supposedly from Eastern Europe. My grandma was supposedly from Eastern Europe too, and she had a lot of those same mannerisms as this kid. I remember speaking of this kid to some guy I know in real life, and the first thing he said was, oh, I think I know this guy, I think I know this kid, isn't he like this? And it's like, no, he's not. This real life friend of mine seems to think he knows everyone. Every time I bring up someone, he's like, oh yeah, I know that person. No, I don't think he knows it. Because the description he always gives has always been accurate to how the real person actually is. We're having our confrontation here with the Seaman Vox guy on the screen. It's probably saying more so it's aggravating. They say, oh, we're going to make this interesting. If you don't stop me before the timer counts down to 0, this whole place is going to blow up. And this is going to make my ratings, it's going to jack up my ratings, and all of you are going to be dead. It'll be the greatest TV finale ever. Whatever TV show do you know of as a finale as epic as this? I mean, Star Trek Deep Space Nine had a pretty epic and entertaining ending where the whole Federation went to an epic war with the Dominion. Tons of ships got destroyed, but in the end, the Dominion fell, and the Dominion failed, and the good guys ultimately won. I mean, like, who didn't see that coming? Star Trek Voyager also had an epic ending too, I remember. And then I remember seeing somewhere that they showed the last episode of Deep Space Nine at movie theaters, apparently, to celebrate its 20th anniversary. Even that was like several years ago now. They're gonna do something this year to celebrate its 27th anniversary. Surely 27 years is a bigger milestone than 20 years, right? I think Dallas and Juanita now are aware they're going to be blown up too in Seaman Vox's stunt. This is a major stunt that he's trying to pull off. They're the kind of stunts that law teacher I had in my last year of high school and just randomly throw on us, where he talks about things he shouldn't be talking about, which could be the greatest stunt of all. And they're saying, oh, this is like a whole epic bloodbath gauntlet from the greatest enemies, the greatest warriors in the galaxy. And now Ratchet is the only thing we have to save us. I mean, he's not the worst thing to possibly be dependent on to save us. I mean, if Beavis and Butthead were the only things left in the galaxy to save us, the galaxy would automatically be doomed. I mean, like, you remember when he was working with the Teen Titans? All he did was go up to Robin and go, no, Batman! Batman's cool. Yeah, no, Batman. Yeah. Or even the people from The Office were the heroes to save the galaxy. Yeah, the galaxy would be doomed. I was asked that question a long time ago. Would the characters in the last show you watched have to save you? One time it was Beavis and Butthead, another time it was The Office. Yeah, none of those characters are really heroes or the heroic type. The Bridge is trekking through this corridor, this long, epic corridor of a battle, and our real goal is to tighten more bolts, or just reach the end of the battleground, reach the end of the level. I don't even think we tighten bolts in this segment. All I really do is just fight off enemies that show up. and that's it. Mindless blasts, mindless battling, mindless just walking over to where we're supposed to go, following this preset track, and then finding the enemies and using them and relying on our robot friends too, our robot buddies too, to just launch EMPs out of that turret thing. And they're like, they didn't even aim right. You think a robot system where they have a good, better computer aiming system, but no, they're actually quite clumsy, and they miss a lot of the time too. The guy clearly missed. I don't know if he did that on purpose, just to get me to want to kill him so we could end his misery maybe, but he clearly missed that shot, and I'm still getting tons and tons of ammo. And that powerful weapon we got, its ammo never spawns from like ammo crates you could destroy, so we're never gonna get ammo that way. We can like get it through buying it through the vending machines. I don't think there's a PDA in this game either, or some like little handheld device you got in most of the other Ratchet and Clank games, where it allows you to buy ammo for weapons wherever you are, whenever you are. But of course, there is a much higher cost for it. But inflation's really done taking its toll on this game, which is why I'm making way more bolts than I should be getting. I just pretty much gave up everything I had so I could buy that weapon. I already have 28,000 bolts. That's quite a lot. I'm like regaining I'm just regaining everything that I lost in like a blink of an eye. By the time we finish the final boss, I'm probably gonna have hundreds of thousands of bolts again. The rich keep on getting richer, and I just gave up everything I had. Pretty much just got it all back in like a split second. I'm just gonna let this guy go and attack that thing, or let the robot minions go around. It's gonna jump around like a maniac, like an acrobatic maniac. Almost like that guy from Monkey Bone that was some sort of gymnastics master, some gymnast master that just jumped around. He supposedly broke his neck on something when he died. That's how Brendan Fraser ended up in that guy's body at the end, where he had to fight himself. We all saw that coming. I remember seeing Monkey Bone a long time ago somewhere. I think it was on TV or something like that in the early 2000s. I had no idea what it is. It seemed like a pretty messed up movie. I remember trying to find it at one point in time. I couldn't find it anywhere. I remember it had some monkey in it. It looked like the Subway monkey. And I started speaking it to people, and no one knew what I was talking about. So at one point, and for the longest time, I thought it was a fake memory, like what one person thought a mystery meant. A fake memory. But no, it's not a fake memory. It was a real movie, and I just watched it again recently when someone on Discord streamed it in one of their Discord streams, and I got to watch the entire thing. It was better than I thought it would be. It was actually a pretty decent movie. A lot of people seem to hate it for some reason, but I actually thought it was pretty funny and pretty good overall. I should make some more episodes of my series that are kind of like that, or that have that similar idea, the similar concept. I mean, it's a better idea than just jumping around like an acrobat. This monkey really is acrobatic. And then again, the monkey in Monkey Bone was pretty acrobatic too. And so was that guy that broke his neck. That was dead, like taking over a dead guy's body. Like almost like reanimating corpses. Like what that guy in Wolfenstein 3D did. And some of the villains behind this game were clearly capable of doing that as he took on Walking Dead in earlier levels. Only has 20,000 bolts for that. Well, that's not really going to do much, because they're already getting tons of bolts already, and I pretty much bought every weapon of it that this game has to offer now at this point. And so at this point, all I can really do now is just buy ammo, and ammo is actually pretty cheap. You think with weapons being expensive now, or somewhat expensive, you think prices of ammo would go up too, but no, prices of ammo seem to be still pretty cheap. So I don't think running out of bolts is going to become an issue at this point, since I have almost ran the game. I only killed a few enemies with this thing. It's already been upgraded once. It doesn't take much to upgrade this thing. Just blast a couple enemies with it, kill them all, and you could almost like decimate an entire legion of enemies easy with that thing. And it's all going to equal up to another upgrade for the weapon. The most powerful weapon in the game, and it still needs to get upgrades. I mean, I don't think the Rhino in the original game ever used upgrades. Then again, upgrades aren't really a thing in the original Ratchet and Clank. And probably for a good reason, too. Or, actually, you could have had upgrades, too. It probably would have made the game better and easier and more up to par with what the sequels are. But, of course, they didn't really know that back in 2002. No one really knew where Ratchet and Clank was going to be in 2002. No one had any idea it was going to survive and outlive Jak and Daxter and Sly Cooper and some of those other games you were introduced to during the PS2 era. I'm going to slash that guy down, or slash that thing, and blasting, blast and slash. There's a time limit. But the time limit's really big. I mean, I'm not complaining, of course, because that's going to let me win. Sometimes I find it hard to believe this is its difficulty in the game. This doesn't seem much difficult. This specific last level of the game, you expect this last level to be some hellish onslaught of something, but no, it's actually somewhat easier of a level. I don't know, it's just, maybe the game is just being nice on you before it takes you into something far more harsh. The final boss, of course, which is what we're going to be seeing at the end of this level. Also, the music in this level isn't really the most, memorable music ever. I remember I used to watch this game called Sonic Retro that someone made. I think it was some fan Sonic project that someone made. I remember it had music from, like, Jumping Flash in it. I remember the last level when Jumping Flash was in it, as well as, like, music from the original Sonic the Hedgehog was in it too, the Scrap Brain Zone. I can imagine Scrap Brain Zone music being used in this level. Probably would fit this level pretty good. Same as the music from Jumping Flash. That music, the 6-1 theme from the original Jumping Flash should fit this level pretty well, I think. Final level, the best final level music there is. The same with Infinity Maginion's music from Mega Man X6. That's probably my favorite piece of music in Mega Man X6. I might as well tell you guys this all now because I don't think I'll ever do a Let's Play of Mega Man X6 considering how sucky that game is. It's a pretty bad game overall. That guy's just standing there, has no idea what he's supposed to be doing. Clearly gave him an order and he just stands there, just staring at the wall like that kid I was talking about earlier. You give him an objective and task, he just stands there and does absolutely nothing. It's the only thing he's really good at. That and crapping his pants and insulting other people are the only things he's good at. But oddly enough, he could probably get a job doing those things, because a lot of scientists like to, study people, like to do experiments on people, and he could potentially be a comedian too. Would he be a funny comedian? And people that know the rights to his right demographic of people, he might be a funny comedian. Yeah, I mean, I know I wouldn't make a good comedian, or at least I don't think I would. People tell me my jokes aren't funny a lot of the time, so I just gave up on comedy for that reason. And there's more of those spherical things flying at us, and that thing's going to be gunning us down again. We're going to be getting the robot friends to set up death packs or those things, and I'm using the fusion rifle again. Long time no see, fusion rifle. I have you back now. I almost forgot you existed because I've been using a rocket launcher for the last 2 or 3 videos now as my main exclusive weapon. But now I'm using the fusion rifle. The other great weapon in the game. I could decimate most enemies, make them turn to ashes. That guy blew up. Oh, there we go. We cleared that mission, got 30,000 bolts for that. Yeah, I'm already pretty rich, and they still gave me 30,000 bolts. More enough to almost buy the next Omni Wrench upgrade. So I will buy the next one. It's on fire, baby. Yeah, it's on fire. The fire wrench. Is that really going to do anything towards these robots? I'm pretty sure robots are fireproof. I mean, they're probably made out of metal or rubbers or certain alloys, which I'm pretty sure those don't burn. So using a wrench that's on fire is kind of a pointless weapon. It'd be even more pointless if they were made out of rocks, because rock doesn't melt either, or burn, or do anything really either. And then there's these turret things that just randomly pop out of the ground when you're not looking, and you can always decimate them using this best weapon. I paid 2 million bolts for this weapon. 2 million bolts well spent. You'd be surprised at what you could buy for only 2 million bolts. And now, for some reason, the clock reset itself now, so we have 10 minutes to do this mission. Yeah, 10 minutes to just go in there and try to dish out some action. Dish out some action against these guys. Just take them like that. Just blasting them, killing them. It seemed to upgrade as fast the second time around. Maybe the first time was just a freebie. It's a freebase, or whatever people call that. Or slaying people these days. Already decimated a bunch of enemies. And now using the rocket launcher again to blast off more. And send off this Sonic the Hedgehog style zip line down there. And blast those guys with one shot, blast them. Yeah, my weapons are so well upgraded. Almost nothing. Even small enemies just seem to get killed in a few hits. Even small enemies don't seem to be much of a threat anymore. The large enemies are still somewhat of a threat. It's not so much the enemies themselves. The fact they just threw a bunch of them. Then again, that opening scene really made it seem like, oh look, you're going to be going against legions and legions of enemies. So I guess they weren't lying then. The ads never lie. And I thought it was TV's job to lie to us. Isn't that what TV is best known for? Lying to us? telling us things that simply aren't true. Like, we're on TV, like on Nickelodeon, it's just these commercials for this thing, this art supplies, where it's like, oh, it's like a pencil, it's like a pencil, but it cuts paper, it doesn't cut you. And you can, like, it's like rainbow, I forget what it was called, like some, that makes like tie-dye colors or unique blends of colors. It's some sort of art thing for kids. Yeah, I remember when they used to encourage kids to make their own art on TV from TV commercials. Yeah, those days are long gone. No one encourages kids to get into the art industry anymore. Mostly because it's a dead industry. So just because something's dead doesn't mean you shouldn't take part in it. I'm aware art is a dead industry, but I still like taking part in it. What do you think DeviantArt is for? DeviantArt's the best place for failed artists. And even YouTube sometimes. You can showcase stuff on YouTube, as I sometimes do in my videos. I think this is the part where we're pretty much at the reactor core now. Just be cleaning out all the enemies. Clean up the enemies! I see that time I randomly said to a real life friend, clean up the cards, and he randomly said back, clean up the barf! Like, oh, like he was referencing something. I don't know, I don't really know what he knows, so, I make references and jokes all the time people don't get. And I kind of like, there's always jokes people aren't going to be getting. Like when I joke about Good Burger, almost no one's ever heard of Good Burger before, but I just like to make jokes about it. Or even Mystery Men, I thought it was all about publicity and getting more sponsors. Come on, blow up the center core. There we go, standing right next to it. It didn't even scratch me. I guess all the armor we got on ourselves really made us resistant to getting blown up. 50,000 bolts for that. We now made 100,000 bolts as I'm playing these challenges and winning them. Ray Phoenix, signing out.